Awiri Parish is where I am in Dokolo Sub-County in Dokolo District. Now, this is a place that is far deep within the northern part of Uganda. When you look at the background, it looks dry. It looks a bit lifeless, and you could be wondering really what goes on in this kind of place and how are people surviving in such kind of a place. However, that question is going to be answered with the conversation I'm going to be having shortly with a young lady called Patricia, who has been a community transformational agent. Now, she started what she's doing today through an interaction that she did responding to an advert that ran in the newspapers. She ended up in Dokolo district and she was trained as a community facilitator. And so through the Land for Agrobusiness program that was being put in this area, she was able to pick up on all these materials of education and empower herself, but also empower the community. At the end of the day, this birthed a cooperative organization, or cooperative society as we would call it, which has existed for the last 7 years, transforming households for social and economic development from an individual level to a community level, and one day to a national level. She's going to be telling us of what the journey has looked like from inception to today, how it has transformed her, how it has transformed the community, and what things have come her way. Is joining me for this conversation. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
It's a pleasure to be in Dokolo. It's a beautiful district.
You're welcome. You're welcome to Dokolo.
But big question is, how does Patricia Ayaro end up in Dokolo district?
My coming here to Dokolo was because of Heifa International, through the Land for Agribusiness project that I applied to be a community facilitator. And yes, I did find myself here. It did not just end as a community facilitator. It is where I am now as the manager for the cooperative that Heifa started as a way of sustaining the Land for Agribusiness project.
Okay.
So I was home for about 4 years without the job, and then this opportunity came and I took it up. I took it up at a very low level. Time reached and I'm like, I wouldn't mind any other level. I will go and work so hard.
Mm-hmm.
In that process, actually, I was among the best community facilitators that were awarded the certificate of performance. So I did my best, and yes, here I am. I took also farming as a business, and it has also empowered me financially. I'm able to pay my daughter at Namugongo Girls Boarding Primary, and yes, I'm so happy. I've been also empowered financially. Was looking at employing the youth in a way that they do they carry out agriculture as a business, and then linking them to the markets and to other service providers like the input suppliers, linking them to insurance companies. And
through the training that you get as a community facilitator with Heifa International, you then get to empower different groups of people here, and that gives birth to the cooperative. Let's talk about the birth of the cooperative.
So the cooperative started in 2019 because part of the training was to let them know that at the end of any other project, but we want to sustain it by forming a cooperative. So we had to let them know what the cooperative is. If one joins, what do you do as a member of the cooperative? But the whole essence was to let them have access to market, have access to input. The cooperative is a big market for them. It's a big market for the farmers. The cooperative started with 40 members. So we continued with our mobilization. As I speak now, we are 1,331, with female being 703 and male 607. We have on the ground, especially the parish ambassadors that does the mobilization of the members to subscribe to the cooperative. Okay. And because we also offer cheap services, that attracts more members to come and join the cooperative.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say cheap services, how cheap are they?
For instance, we do the savings here. The members who are saving are getting a loan with the 5% interest, which is quite cheaper for them compared to 10% interest that they pay in their different VSLAs in the market price, about 50 shillings. So such services makes them think that I think cooperative is the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
In between 2019 and debt, there was COVID-19, and it shut down the country for a while. And I know that it did affect how the cooperative was running and how people were actually utilizing its services. Let's talk about how COVID-19 changed and affected what you were doing.
Since we were just starting, we were few in number. It was still not so hard to mobilize them, though we had to walk and distribute for them the seeds, or they had to walk to the centralized bit of it. Now, fortunately enough, during the COVID-19 is when we realized a bumper harvest of soybean foundation seeds were distributed. But we had also done a contract farming with a company called Trafford. That was the time also the prices were very low. I remember they were buying soybean at 700 shillings. But as the cooperative, because we were still few, we bought it at 1,500 because the company that we had done the MOU with was giving us 500 shillings. We had done a contract with a company that would come and off-take.
Okay.
And the company had stated its minimum price to be 2,000 shillings. Yeah.
Okay. I know that one of the cores of Heifer International was to make sure that there's inclusivity in the projects that they start and leave behind for communities. And so how have you been able to manage the gender inclusivity element when it comes to the cooperatives, the subscribers and beneficiaries?
We've cascaded the training of gender mainstreaming, especially in agribusiness, where both parties feel it is very important to do the farming together and then subscribe to the cooperative, the gospel of the cooperative.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's talk about the benefits for the cooperative members today. What benefits do they hold when they are part of this community?
Financially, they've been empowered because they have ready markets. They know how to plant their crops well because we have an extension officer that trains them through the farmer field school facilitators that we have in the community. And then, like some of the services I said, we do mechanization. For a member, we plow your garden as low as 80,000 shillings. Then for non-members, we plow at 100.
Okay.
Yeah. So such are the services that they have benefited. Like they have access to seed subsidy, they supply us grain back at a higher price that no any other middleman is offering.
Okay.
So that has increased on the levels of their household incomes.
Let's talk about how the government has come in to lend a hand and other partners that have come in to lend a hand for you to continue with this cooperatives initiative.
Yeah, the government came in. First of all, the existence here is because of the government. We are fully registered with the Ministry of Trade and Cooperatives. That means the government is so much into support of having the cooperatives in place. Then the other, we've received a grant from the government that was worth 220 million to put up the structure under ACDP project, Agriculture Development, Agriculture Cluster Development Project. So that is giving us the machineries to add value because we went in for the value, the government went in here for the value chain of cassava because we've seen cassava is widely grown here. So if cassava does not bring much more money, and then validation is the way to go. So the government has been in support by giving us the grant, and also we've received the NAD seeds still through the support of the government to the farmers. And then also the government should continue with the insurance subsidy because if this is left to a farmer fully, a farmer cannot pay the whole premium price probably of 70, of 80,000, of 100. But the insurance subsidy that the government is giving, the area yield index, a farmer is paying 10,000 per acre. So the government should continue in the line of seed subsidy and insurance. And also, since we are trying to do some of the value addition, it's still at a very small stage. The government could come in and capitalize that. If we are really full part of that project, I think we will bring a lot of change in the community of Dokolo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you as a person came in as a community facilitator.
Yeah.
And you've been able to grow to a managerial level. Let's talk about that journey for you. How has it developed you?
Also learned to take up farming as a business, to add on the allowance I earned from the cooperative, and then at the management level, it has made me feel I have done what I can do for the community. Like I have transformed the households. I have empowered them, because if I am not at this level, then definitely the empowerment cannot reach to the ladies, to the members of the cooperative. I think I'm so much obsessed with the ladies.
Yeah.
So I'm from 1 acre. I have, because 1 acre was also testing the depth, how is farming, because usually graduates, you're from the university and you don't want to think about agriculture, you don't want to think about farming. So I started with 1 acre. I didn't give up. I moved. Like this year I am doing 20 of maize, 20 acres of maize and 10 acres of soybean. So I'm having done all my cost benefit analysis. Even with this weather, I know I am still going to earn something. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about how you've been able to manage, running the cooperative. What systems are in place for people to actually benefit and yield from the cooperative, but also the cooperative itself to be sustainable?
The other systems, we have our internal controls, that we have policies put in place. We have the governance policy charter that each and every time the board members keep on reminding themselves about the integrity. So such policies has made it very easy for me to run the cooperative. Yeah.
Okay. On the other side, you talk about, of course, the cooperative has both men and women. On a national level right now, we're struggling with corruption. We're seeing corruption being one of the challenges for different public officers. I can't imagine how challenging that is for you on a local level through a cooperative. How are you managing to fight corruption?
What we have in the bank, we have the 3 signatories. For now, we've made Haifa to be our principal signatory. Even number of times they've said, I think you can now walk, you can have this, but for some reason or the other, we like, no, let Haifa be our principal signatory to these accounts.
Okay.
So also, before I also get what I want, like maybe the money I need to put in the request, and the board approves what is this money for. So with such, and the policies in place, and the trainings that we got about the integrity has really trimmed off that. We need to actually let it grow. We have to multiply it.
Okay. We also know that usually with such systems, and you have to deal with men and women, both perceptions are different. Women can easily adopt and adhere to what is required of them to benefit. Men, on the other hand, especially in line with the fact that it's women leadership at the top of the cooperative, they may find a challenge to adhere or to utilize some of the services. And so how are you managing to change the mindset, especially for the men?
Yes, men want quick things, but we make them follow the procedure. So conclusively, they've said it's very hard to work with women. But then women on the other side, they follow the procedure. If we follow the procedure and we know in 3 days' time I will have access to my loan, or I will have finished processing, because sometimes we also give them seed loan. So they follow the procedure, not like it's raining, the rain has started, please give me the seeds. I first go and plant, then come and fill in the forms. No, they follow the procedure. So the men find it a little bit very hard to work with us. But also they appreciate, because we are trying to safeguard their resources. They all injected into this cooperative. by paying the membership and buying the shares. So we have to safeguard whatsoever it's there.
Okay.
Otherwise, we face disintegration. Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, it begs another serious question that matters. This initiative has been here for 7 years, right? What's the next 7 years looking like for the cooperative?
Our oil press and also the maize and the maize value chain will also come in. We need to do the validation. So you'll find us when we've expanded, and also our vision is to see our products going as far as out of Dokolo. We want to see our
Because you're
products in
very
Lira.
bordered to Sudan, you know.
Yes,
You
yeah.
have Congo on the other side.
Yes, we want to see our products go to South Sudan, go to Congo. In one way or the other, we will have empowered indirectly the non-members of the cooperative also.
How long do you want to run your leadership, and how are you empowering or imparting your leadership skills on others so that they can be able to take on different leadership levels?
I would wish to work as Winnie Kiza. The time she was a woman MP of Kasese, when she was leaving, she gave a statement and said she has spoken for the women of Kasese. She has worked for the women of Kasese. What she has changed, she has changed. What she has not changed, she has not changed. So she leaves it for another woman to take over. I will be so much happy to mentor another manager that will come and take over the cooperative. By that time, I will be among probably the board, or not the board. We'll just be watching, hands off, eyes on, to see, because this is what will build our nation. I will still benefit even if I'm out of the management position. Yeah.
Okay. And I believe that if this very same structuring can be picked, copied and pasted even on a national level, so that means that there's leadership skills in you that you would like to, you know, enjoy at another level altogether. Are there other forms of leadership that you'd like to take on to still empower communities?
Oh yes, I would like to represent the women of Alepton
Okay.
at Time T. Yes, I would like to represent them in the parliament of Uganda, and speak for them and work for them and go and impart what I've done here for them. I seem to be knowing much about my community in Alepton, but here I am still in Dokolo. It's a stepping stone. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about what impact that organizations such as Heifer International have had through such programs.
Honestly, it's so hard to measure the outcome of some of the things. You need to take an extra step. So we go and assess them. We ask them how many times they're having their meals in a day, how many goats do they have, what has changed over time. So we do all those things, how much they're spending per day. Then we calculate. We know now these people in a year, someone is saving 1 million shillings, which is a lot of money in the community down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So all this definitely comes with benefits, and I know that the primary purpose is to create market and attract market at the same time. So what market have you attracted, and when you attract it, what is that money then doing at the end of the day to service the services of the cooperative to the people?
Thank you. At first, we were looking at the big off-takers in Lira town. We were looking at the likes of Mukwano taking our sunflower, our soybean, and eventually with time we realized that market is becoming an issue, and we thought of value addition. Right now, the sunflower that we should have taken to Mukwano, it's the sunflower that we are pressing from here to save our community. And then the soybean, we've been in a partnership, and we signed the MOU with Trafford Transformation for Rural Development that comes to off-take our soybean. So what we've decided to do is we bought from them. We told them bring, we shall give you the market. So we bought maize as high as 720 shillings because we had the vision of value addition. As I speak, we are installing the maize huller that we need to do this, produce flour, and then sell out. because a kilo of maize flour is 4,000 shillings,
Okay.
and yet a kilo of maize grain is as low as 500 shillings.
Mm.
So such we came in place to address the issues of the markets. So usually where we sell this, where we put this money, it is used to develop still, bring in more investment into the cooperative, because the maize hala we've paid about 13 million. It is from the little margin that we make from the sale of these products.
Okay. Within the locals.
We know their capacity, because if I am just plowing 2 acres of land, probably I'm going to get 700,000 at the end of the season for that value chain, and then it is from that money we tell you make a down payment of 200,000. Then the other next month you'll be paying 50, you pay installments until you finish. So in that a way it addresses their income gaps.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, high five to
Thank
you.
you. High five.
And well done, Patricia Ayero, who
Thank
started
you.
off as a community facilitator when Heifer International made a call out, put out an advert, and she was able to get knowledge, information that has become wealth, not just to her as herself, but also to community members of Dokolo Sub-County in Awiri Parish, where we are today. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to value addition. What do you have? Because that's what that's the principle that they were abiding by through Land for Agriculture initiative. What did the people here have? The evidence-based approach that has been used to have that transformation. It begs a question now, what do you have that you can use to change your lifestyle? It could be something that you have in your hands, you have in your possession, you have in your name. That very thing that you have, you can use it to actually change not just yourself, but change the people around you. Also, this is to encourage you to tap into the opportunities that come your way through organizations, through groups, through educational forums, whichever the opportunity or window it is, you definitely can walk into it. And like Patricia, 7 years down the road, if you didn't know, she was out of school, a graduate, and a single mother. And today that story is definitely different, with a big smile, and she continues to empower people for positive change. And so that is the task that we leave unto you. Doesn't matter your situation, what is the value that you have, small as it is, that you can use to become bigger and better. Thank you very much.